What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind.
What's up, everybody? Actually, come here, Jesse. I was about to look at the camera.
Walking Blind is hosted by overly emotional dudes who overthink and overanalyze everything. Nothing the hosts say should be taken as medical advice or opinion. They're not professionals. They're about to make that very clear.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Walking Blind podcast, the podcast where we like to normalize checking on your homies. This is episode 93. I have returned. I'm Mike. That is also Mike. And I'm fucking back. And I'm in a different spot.
I like how from this spot you keep looking that way because you're so used to being able to see the screen.
I hate it.
Welcome back, sir. Welcome back.
Dude, I'm different now.
This is not the first time we've hung out since you've been back, but it is your first time back on the show, man.
I don't know how to podcast anymore.
Yeah, we're afraid you were gonna forget, which is why we put you in the hot seat, in the guest seat.
Love it.
We asked for questions just in case you fuck this whole thing up. You know, we can just rally and talk about the questions.
Dude, some good ones. Some good ones, I think.
So let's I know that we still want to keep these shows at a certain time frame, so let's jump right in, dude. I gotta tell you this, I had a really hard time explaining what the mental health check was every time you were gone, because I was like, I don't normally do this, the mental health check. So
I liked it. You said, I can't remember what you said, something where I was like, oh, I'm gonna use that.
Well, apparently it wasn't good enough for you to really remember it.
It was good. Did you want
to? No, go ahead.
I can't know if the camera's on me or not. There we go. Mental health check. Where we like to check in.
Just trust the process. Trust Jesse to do the switching, okay?
It's been a long time, Jesse. This isn't it's not you. It's me.
I fucking hate that comment. It's not you.
It's not you. It's me.
It's me.
Mental health check. That's where we like to check in weekly to see where we're at mentally. That way, if we're going right, what are some things that we're doing that are helping us? And if we're in a funk, maybe what's going on, or what are we neglecting to do? So, I'm going first.
I guess I'll go first. That way you can close it out, and then we can jump right into the good old meat of the story. I've been all right, man. I've been kind of just. I feel like there's just a ton of wheels turning that I'm just trying to get a hold of and trying to get everything back in order. To the point where I just kind of took a step back yesterday, because normally we record on Mondays. Mm-hmm. Today's Tuesday. And I reset the house in a sense. I came in the back and cleaned up all of the mess and all of Elliot's shit everywhere, and all the stuff that's kind of been there's the side of the house you just stash stuff on, and then you ignore it. I came and went and cleaned all that up. The Christmas tree is still there, Jesse. It's been there. I'm waiting all the way to December so that I can just throw it in the bonfire or something.
Throw it up in November, dude.
Yeah, dude. But it's a dead tree. It's last year's Christmas tree that was live. It's still sitting in the corner over there because I never took it out. So
we've been waiting to burn it.
Yeah, we've been wanting to burn it, but it's been so hot we can't do any fire little fire pit activities. So yeah, it's just sitting there. But yeah, so I kind of went around and reset, took care of the lawn, reset the front yard, because there's just things that in my ADD brain, I would start a project and move on. Mm. So for example, the hose was just out because I had been watering a dead spot in the grass. Mm. And instead of taking the time to roll it back up, I was just leaving it all over the place. Mm. And just the satisfaction of cleaning everything up and putting everything away nicely, and the vacuum, the shop vac that was outside for 2 weeks that nobody stole. It was just sitting out there for 2 weeks and didn't do anything. So yeah, I kind of reset all that stuff, worked in the garage, cleaned up a bunch of stuff in the garage too. And that kind of helped. I felt like I accomplished something, and things kind of felt oh, this is back to normal. Mm. So little wins, and just trying to kind of line everything else up. So, yeah, I've been good. I haven't made any guitar purchases.
Yeah.
I've actually sold a few since you've been gone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, it's just, things are hopefully moving in that direction to where everything is going to kind of calm down and normalize again.
Right for holiday season.
Right before holiday season, before it gets insane. Yeah, so we'll see. How are you doing, man?
I'm good, Phil. I feel like I was feeling like I felt myself feeling like anxious yesterday, and then a little bit today, and I kind of was able to do some had to literally do like breathing stuff, and then like I prayed, something I tend to do, and just kind of like a whole like a quick reminder to myself, like, this I can control, this I can't.
Yeah.
So not gonna worry about this. I'll get to it, or I'll prioritize it, or I'll do something. And so that kind of got me back into like feeling better. So I like as of right now, I feel good. And one of like what you were saying, for me, so I got back on Thursday, and then on Friday, I was kind of in that, I don't know what to call it, like, it's not post-war depression or anything like that, but I started feeling like anxious.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was just like, I'm gonna go wash my car. I washed my car, and then I cleaned the inside, and all while I was listening to the episode with Dallas.
Nice.
That's good. And so and then I got back to my I got back home, did laundry. I think for me mentally, like, doing laundry as soon as I get home is like a nice way to be like, I don't know, like another
To wash the shit up.
Yeah. Get it? Yeah. Yeah. So like wash things for reals.
Yeah.
But anyone who doesn't know, I'm like, I do laundry, but my own way. So yeah, so I did laundry, and then I even started.
What does that mean?
Okay, so what it means is, so for one, I got bad towards the end because I think I was just like giving up.
Yeah.
But like for me, like, I wear the same shirt on stage
Throughout the whole tour.
You know?
Which lately it's been every show has been the Riverside Originals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And which, by the way, I've been tagging them.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Nothing.
But I have to believe that they'll eventually reach out.
Yeah.
It happened with Liquid Death. It can happen with
True.
Bow Down.
Yeah.
Want to make a friend?
I don't know.
Also, I think I told you this, but I don't mean to kill your spirit, but Bow Down is not a Riverside brand.
Yeah.
They just happen to do like city shirts.
Yeah.
Well, it's just,
I can rep the city. I can rep
just all the Riverside shit. Like, we'll be the Riverside crew. You know?
Yeah. They're like, we want better looking models. But yeah, they're like, we appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for the support.
But yeah, so what I'll say is, I'll rinse after like our set. I'll go and I'll rinse my shirt in the sink. I'll probably throw some soap on it and like just rinse it out.
Hand soap.
Rinse it out, and then I'll hang it in the trailer, and then like by the next day, it doesn't smell good, but it doesn't smell insane.
Right.
It doesn't smell like gross, and so I'll do that. And then I've been known to, because I basically travel with a backpack, like, although I did take a duffel bag which had extra things in it. But then I'm known to, like, I'll do the same with my underwear. I'll give hit them in the sink with some soap, and then I'll let them hang dry where we're at. Do it with socks or like a shirt. If I'm running low on shirts, then I'll. Yeah. So that's what I mean by, like, I do my own form of laundry. Like, so I'm wearing, like, instead of just wearing like the same fucking shirt, it's been somewhat cleaned.
There's never like a laundromat stop or anything
No,
like that.
I mean, no, we didn't make any laundromat stops. We were like fortunate enough that like even for me, like, I remember like there was times when, like, there's like places we stayed and they let us use their laundry.
Yeah,
it was cool. Shout out to Brian and I forget who else lets us do laundry, but like for me, like, I'm constantly doing that.
Yeah,
just so I don't have to rely on that.
Now, are you I wore these underwear, now I gotta flip them inside out and wear them the other way guy?
I've never been that guy. I've never been that guy because I always have like the dry fit underwear.
Yeah.
and so they dry super fast. So I just like rinse them.
Okay.
And so I don't have to carry many of them.
And how long do you go between rinsing off the shirts? Like 2-3 shows, or
What do you mean, like for
like the show shirt?
the show shirt?
Yeah.
I rinse it every night.
Okay.
Every night I try to rinse it every night.
Okay.
It doesn't always happen.
And where do you leave it to dry?
I'll usually hang it in the trailer,
Okay.
or as soon as we get to the venue. Something I didn't get to do all the time, but what was nice was like, so Aaron, our sound guy, he had like fans. Like he brought fans, and they're mostly for on stage for us,
Right.
for Martin. But then we like there's some venues that we go to and they have really good air, or they have fans. And so
you just hang it in front of that.
yeah.
Nice.
Or I would just take it and like unplug it and like put it in my little corner and like hang it.
Yeah.
And there was like there was one place where I had literally like I had like my underwear, my socks. It looked like my own little clothesline, and I had the air on it. It was like, I'm sure somebody was just like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
I never did the like rinsing off thing, but I did pull the move where I had my stage clothes, like my shorts, my shirt, and everything like that. And I remember vividly one day I had it hanging on a hanger in the trailer, and when I went to put the shirt on, it was crisp, like it was crunchy.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's time. Yeah. It's time to change this.
yeah. Yeah. Dude, Tron's shirts could like literally stay up, and it was a tank top,
Yeah.
like a flimsy tank top, and that thing was like, it would like stay like,
You like standing in the corner like Cholo Dickies, like it's just stands up right.
it would just post up on walls. But,
Oh, that's amazing.
yeah. So, anyways, that's my tour laundry. I do that shit. But yeah, on Friday I got home and I just did all that stuff. Washed my car, washed the inside of it, and then in my room I organized my little crazy dresser that I have, and then try to like start like at some point I'm gonna go through and just get rid of a bunch of shit.
Yeah, it's time to do a purge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I did that just so my room didn't look as crazy, because I left it in disarray, like straight up. I was just like, fuck this, I'm leaving.
And nobody goes in there. They just shut it. Is there a smell when you come back?
No. No.
Like you left one of those underwears under the bed or something like that, and it just didn't get washed.
No. Actually, I did a really good job of like, I remember I did laundry before I left, and so there was clothes that was like not folded, but it was clean.
Yeah.
And then so I folded everything or hung up whatever, and so that was like the first step of me like kind of like, I don't know what to call it, like just feeling better, kind of like what you did, like having that. So then on Friday, and then just I throughout the weekend up until yesterday, I was having just moments of like almost like jet lag, which is weird because I don't remember, like I maybe have one, like as soon as I got back from tour, like the next day I either got sick or I would be like tired, but then after that like I was fine.
Yeah.
But this was like it was like in waves. Like I'd have random moments. Like I don't know if you noticed when we were watching Winning Time, there's like times where like, you know, I'll doze, but there's like I was like,
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
Like straight up like died, and like whole moments were gone. I was like, oh shit. Like
I think even when we were back here, like we were listening to some mixes, and I would see moments where you'd just be kind of like you'd sink lower into the chair, and I'd be like, yeah, I think this one sounds good. Yeah, that one sounds sick. Yeah.
But
So
yeah, so I don't know. I feel good. I feel I want to be like, especially just being back full week. I want to be like, there's just things like I want to get out ahead of, just because I know it's just gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
Like freaking birthday and shit coming up.
it is. That's a hard one for you to swallow, isn't it?
Dude, it's crazy. I'm trying to change my attitude about it.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah.
40's the new 20.
Yeah. But also, it's like, it's not. You know?
Oh man. Yeah. It's a milestone.
Yeah, it's a milestone. Yay. Yay. But anyway, so yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm good. I feel like today was really good being able to like breathe and reset and stuff like that for me. Good.
So while you guys were gone, Allie, shout out to Allie, hit me up and was saying that, you know, a topic that we should talk about is like post-tour depression, right? Like I think a lot of people don't even realize that it's really a thing, you know, but it's almost in a sense like no matter how long you've been gone or no matter how regularly you tour, there's always this moment when you come back where you're like kind of getting back into the groove of real life, you know, and it's like, oh shit, this is like, wow. And then you like, and I don't know if anybody's going through it right now, but I am noticing like damn, this shit was fun, you know, like, oh, hey, like now I've had some time to reflect and like the pictures being posted and things like that from some of the dudes. And I meant to reach out to them, but I just haven't really had time. But you know, I kind of like want to see what your thoughts are on that. Cause I know you had said like, it wasn't post-tour depression for you, but what your thoughts are just in general on that feeling.
Well, actually, shout out to Tron. Actually, Tron reached out to me yesterday and asked if I was doing like checked in with me.
Sick.
And I was like, dude, appreciate that. And then we kind of shared some things. And so, I mean, there is like, it's one of those things where it's weird. And I kind of forgot how much I do like the structure of tour.
Yeah.
Even though it's like, it looks chaotic, but it's a chaos that like I kind of understand and like, and it's like a routine chaos in the sense of like, yeah, maybe everything doesn't start exactly at this time, but like once things go, then it's like, okay, so, you know, getting to load in. Once we load in, then I know, okay, once we're loaded in, everything's set up, then I know I have this much time to either go get food or like in my case, like it was like to call Jordan. That was like my time. I could do that. And like I had that. And then, you know, then the rest of the show becomes a thing where it's like, okay, I'm going to, you know, if there's locals, check out the local. And then I know that when this band goes on, it's warm-up time. And I start my warm-ups. And then I know to go back and I go change. So there's like a structure for me that I like.
Yeah.
And I like that about tour. You know, there's a bunch of other stuff for me that I'm like don't like and I'm surviving through. But I kind of miss that purpose every night of having that like Tron kind of said it best. And when he's told me, I was like, I guess I kind of, where he's like that, having that purpose and then that like adrenaline hit every night, having that like leaving everything out on the line, like the whole like getting everything out, you know. And in our case, you know, personally, like, you know, I'm working through a lot of things. Like I think it's cathartic. I don't think I'm like reliving trauma when I talk about Will, Brian, Blake. I don't feel like it's like a traumatic thing that I'm reliving. I feel like it's cathartic. I feel like it's to help others. I feel like it's helping me, you know. And then like getting off stage, talking with people, those conversations, whether they're good or heavy or whatever it is, like there was that. I loved that. I loved that feeling of purpose again, you know, which was really hard for me when we stopped, like going back to school and everything. Like it kind of felt like, well, fuck, dude, I used to like help. I felt like I was doing something every night. Yeah. And now, you know, obviously I needed it. Talked about it a million times. Like I'm happy that I needed to do that. It made me way more equipped for this. Like this time around, it was so nice being able to like process and like decompress in a healthy way. I had my safeguards ready to go, and it was good for me. And it was nice to have people who were like I had so many times people being like, dude, I don't want to trigger you, or like, I'm so sorry to drop this on you, or like, I really don't want. I know you just shared this. I don't want to put this on you. And to be able to tell them like, no, this is why I'm here. Yeah. Like I have prepared to protect myself for what you're gonna give me. Yeah. Like, so share. I can take it, you know. And so for me, that's kind of been the hard part of being like, oh well, you know, now I'm back to slinging coffee and like,
dude, it's funny because I don't know why that just triggered this thought in my head, but have I talked about on the podcast how I had I basically went out to be a cop at one point? Obviously not. Jesse just turned around like went crazy.
I thought. Well, no, you. I think maybe you have mentioned it in an earlier episode.
Maybe before Jesse was here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there was a time frame. It was after, after kind of Creative Void.
Blue Lives Matter. They matter, dude.
Creative Void had finished, and my solo music project kind of fizzled because it started to feel like work. Right? It was fun. It was cool. Like we were doing. I was doing a lot of cool shit while it was going, and then it just felt like it was no longer fun anymore. And I knew at that point in time, I was like, I'm just gonna kind of kill this because I could always come back to it.
Right.
But and so I found myself in that place where like I didn't feel like I was doing anything that was helpful, right? And then of course like I'm just like single, just like no responsibilities really other than like pay your rent and pay for your car, right? And I got to a point where I was just looking for anything that made me feel like I was helping, right? And the police thing came up, and I I went and I did all the physical fitness tests, I did all the written tests, like passed everything, and then apparently I was a little too honest on my background check because like somebody presented to me as like everything that you answer on this background check, they're going to polygraph you afterwards, and you're gonna have to, and
Stand
so
by what you said.
yeah, in my head I'm thinking, like that they're gonna ask me all these questions. So I was honest on that thing. Where it's like, have you ever associated with felons? Well, yeah. Have you ever associated with gangs? Well, yeah. Has anyone ever around you done narcotics? Well, funny you mention it.
You're like, I'm gonna go ahead and answer these series of questions with the fact that I was in a band.
Yeah. So
I have some questionable characters that I associate with. Yes.
Yeah. So it was but luckily, like I look back at it now and I'm like I feel lucky that I didn't get selected. Only because like I feel like I would have been doing something good, but it wasn't like a passion of mine. It was just something that I was like, I should do this, right? Like I think there was a time frame when Williams was gonna go CHP. Yep. Right. Like that same mentality. Like this is just something.
There was also a time when he was gonna be an umpire. I remember that.
Yes. So yeah, and then right after I basically got the like, I'm sorry, but you weren't selected letter, like COVID hit, riots start happening, lockdown, everything like that. Basically in the time frame that I would have gone through police academy, graduated, I would have been a rookie cop, basically like right there in fucking Riverside when like people were throwing smoke grenades and shit in the middle of the street. So it ended up like working out in my favor that I didn't do that. But yeah, it was like this feeling of just like, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. And like Creative Void wasn't like as like big of an impact as No Brang Eyes was, but just like the little pieces that we did, I was like, oh fuck, I feel like I'm doing something. Yeah. Right. And so I feel like I was just chasing that for forever. And I just didn't know what to do, and I felt like just going to an office every day, like I don't have it. Like, why am I doing this? Yeah. What am I doing? So I can definitely see that aspect of like, okay, what now? Like you come home and you're like, oh, well, you want what in your macchiato? Yeah. So, yeah. Yeah, that there's definitely like a it's jarring to go from like we just played a show last night and then we drove to the next venue, played another show, and then after that last show it's like now we're going home. Now what?
Yeah. And you know what I'm finding too is like, because obviously first thing anyone says to me that knows anything about my life is like, oh, how was the tour? And like, it was good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know how to it's like, there's like so much I want to say now. Because like before I really did think of it as like, it's a fun job that I get to do. Yeah, let's talk about outside with this, but it's like, it's going to happen again. I'm sure there'll be a cooler story next time. Like that was like almost how I felt about like when people ask me, it's like, oh yeah, it was rad, like it was cool, like this band was cool, whatever, or like give me a question that I can answer directly. Otherwise, like it was just cool, it was good.
Yeah.
Like I'm happy we did it, you know. Whereas now I feel like I want to like, it's like yeah, there was a lot of cool things that happened, but I don't know, I don't have time.
Well, you have the place to do it now.
Yeah. So anyway, but yeah,
It just looks down the barrel of the camera. It's like,
it's good. Yeah, it was you know, I'm trying not to like, I'm trying to think of it as like like it's hard. I'll be really honest. Like, I've always felt MBR was important in a small way. Like I always felt like we were doing our like we're doing our piece, we're doing our thing. You know, like in our own world. It seems like such a small, concentrated place, but on this tour, it like conversations I was having with people, and like we had a guy who flew up from Puerto Rico. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, just things like that where it's like, and like them explaining like what MBR has been for them for like the past 10 years, past 15 years.
I wonder if it's the same person that listens to this show in Puerto Rico. Because we do have a listener in Puerto Rico. Shout out to you.
Maybe.
Our,
Sean? His name's Sean.
Our Boricua baddie, if you will.
Yeah.
Dude or chick. Don't care.
So, but like that being said, it's like you know, like it was nice to like still have that, and like I've said it when we stopped 22, like for me, like MBR has always been like my favorite form of like advocacy.
Yeah.
And it really like is almost like a double down. Like this tour really felt like it's not that I ever felt like it was talk, like I fucking went to school for this shit. Like it never felt like that, but like it felt like even more so now, like, oh yeah, this is why we do this. Like these conversations, these people that like we're, whether it's someone who's known about us or someone who like heard us for the first time. That was another cool thing too. Like there's a lot of people who never heard us before.
Yeah. And
that, you know, like got like they really responded to the message. So I don't know. It really put I'm trying hard not to be like, you know, like now what I do is not as like important as what I was doing on tour.
Right. I get what you're saying. Yeah. One thing I will say, it just seems like it got you excited for the future.
Yeah.
For No Bragging Rights.
Definitely.
And what's gonna come next, which there's some fucking sick,
dude. I think this week we announced it.
Really?
I think so.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're living out a dream, man.
I know.
Living out a dream.
Oh.
Why don't you guys announce it here? It doesn't come out till Friday.
Because if it doesn't get announced on the NBR side of things, I have to go through and
Yeah.
I'm not good at that. I'm not gonna remember to cut it, and then it's gonna be a thing. You know, 28 people are gonna know about it.
I know. We never know.
You never know. You never know.
They started their own Warped Tour? What?
Yeah. So. Yeah, but yeah, I post tour depression definitely a thing, because, especially, you know, I don't want to speak for the guys and what they do and what their everyday life looks like, but just for myself, you know, it is a little difficult to be like I would, every show we played, I don't care how many people were there, like we played in front of, like we had a really low turnout show. Which then, of course, like the next day we played a big ass festival.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have that. But like, I carried with me like we're helping someone tonight.
Yeah.
Like that's how I felt. I've always felt confident about that. Like we are gonna help someone tonight. If nothing else, someone is gonna hopefully walk away from this feeling less alone, or they'll have been able to work something out that they didn't realize it was there. So, I don't think, at least for myself, I'm really trying hard to not feel like, oh, I'm depressed about it because I'm not helping right now.
Yeah.
But I think what we're doing here at the podcast is good for that. And I'm trying to be in a frame of mind where I just need to be happy that like, or just be ready for like, when it happens again, like I know that I need to like continue to study up on this so that when we do play these next shows or whatever it is, that I'll be even more so like ready to speak to people and hopefully like point them in the right direction.
Right. One cool thing that did come from the tour was that, you know, you had some free time on your hands, so you created a Walking Blind group chat on the gram, and we've been adding people, and the conversations there have been pretty cool. We've had some you know, nonsense in there, like some jokes and things like that, some funny shit. We've also had some pretty like deep and like you know, like heartfelt messages in there. So there's been quite a bit of traction in there, which is kind of nice to see. I'm stoked to see like a community kind of get together around all of it, which has been cool. You know?
I love that we're not the ones having to be the ones like being encouraging.
Yeah.
Or like it's been, and you know, I don't want to put this out there for everyone. I guess you could, if you follow him, you would know. But one of the most like active and positive people is our buddy Dave.
Yeah.
Right. Like, if you don't know what's going on with his family, his son, it's crazy that he can smile.
Yeah.
He's gone through his family has been through so much. And I freaking, if I think about it too much, I'll get emotional about it. But like, he's been through so much, and he's still, like, he's in there, and he's encouraging, he's joking, he's still living, like, he's still doing things, even though, like, he has been through hell.
Yeah.
He is going through hell right now, and he still finds, you know, he still, you know, loves, you know, still checking out music. He's still, you know, again, being encouraging in the chat, and it's like blows my mind.
Yeah, which I did see. By the way, your question about the top five hardcore bands, and I feel like I've been wanting to answer it, but then I keep getting tripped up on my answer because I'm like, fuck, like I'm second guessing my answers here. I'm gonna answer it still. I don't care how long the time goes. Yeah. But yeah, that group chat is pretty cool. And that being said, we do have some questions that people wrote in. You know, we originally asked for these just in case, you know, Mike forgot how to podcast and he like completely, you know, just needed a bailout. But there's some cool questions in there, so we can jump in. You want to read them? You want me to read them? How you want?
You read them.
How you want to do this? Jesse did bring up a cool idea about him reading the questions, and we shut it down. No, I'm just kidding.
We said no.
We were like, no.
This is going in my post.
We do want to we are going to give Jesse the opportunity to read the questions, but I think it'd be better off if we get him his own camera as well, because the Share the Backline dudes pressured us into it by giving their camera person all this cool stuff. So, you know, now we gotta follow suit.
That camera person also put up a really nice post.
Yeah, that's true. Caitlin really did put up something very sweet and encouraging about the dudes that you know, she sees every week. And look at Jesse's gonna turn around and post some bullshit right now.
You know,
all right,
gave her an opportunity to spread her wings, and I can't wait to see what Jesse's.
Yeah, Jesse's gonna post some nonsense right now. All right, so let's jump into the questions. We're gonna read IG names on here. So King Dork Caleb asked, "How do you think the hardcore scene as a whole treats mental health?"
So just from what I've seen in like the past month, I feel like the hardcore scene is at least receptive to it. I feel like they're respectful to it, and I think it's I would say that I feel like they're accepting of it. I wish there was more of it. Like I wish like as much as it was nice to hear people say like, oh, you know, I've never heard someone talk about mental health that way. You know, I'm like, it kind of bums me out because I wish there was more of it, especially in the hardcore scene. But I feel like the hardcore scene has been very receptive to it. You know, like I don't think there's any like bad energy towards it or bad mouthing or like people making fun of it or anything. I feel like it's become. I'm hoping it becomes like one of those causes that people like really grab onto, like straight edge and hardcore scene or veganism in the hardcore scene or, you know, whatever. Like I hope it becomes something that becomes like not militant like that, but like something strong like that.
Yeah. Check on your friends, you fucking pussy.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Fucking get jumped if you don't. This guy hasn't called on anybody. Get him.
All right. Josh Supertramp said hope versus optimism. Can someone be a hopeful pessimist or a hopeless optimist?
Dang, Josh. Smart dude. I got to see him on the tour.
Yeah?
Yeah. I got to see him in the Louisville Boys.
Sick.
Can someone be, what is it?
Can someone be a hopeful pessimist or hopeless optimist?
I feel like I'm the first one. I feel like I'm a hopeful pessimist. Is that what it is?
Wouldn't that be the same idea as like hope for the best but expect the worst?
Yeah. Like, because for me, I always think worst. Always. Yeah. Like, that's what I think people get wrong about me. Oh, he's so positive. It's like I am choosing to.
Yeah.
Like
It's a choice.
Yeah, I am trying my best to do that. Because like I go dark fast.
Mm-hmm.
My first thoughts are not
they're not the best.
They're not the best. They're not nice. So I think yes, because I'm definitely the first one. Like
yeah.
I just try really hard to be optimistic, even though I'm very pessimistic.
Mm-hmm. The Notorious D-Bag was on the show last week.
So good, Dallas. Dallas, I'm looking at you right now. You did such a good job. I'm proud of you.
He said, "What do you feed that thing?" Moving on.
Lettuce.
Yeah.
As opposed to him feeding it trees and shit.
It's Harrison Lamb. What's the favorite thing to do to settle in after a tour? What do you usually look forward to? Real laundry.
Doing real laundry. Eating familiar food, which we got to go to Okoku, which was awesome. It was nice getting coffee with you guys. That was a nice sense of like normalcy / you know.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the nice thing. It's like doing the things that you can't do, you know.
Right.
It was nice being able to like watch like TV, like watch shows with Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
Like that was nice. Just being able to just not do anything and just do that. Do you have any go-tos when you get back?
For me, it was more like come home and just settle back into, well, one, normal routines, but like back in my bed and like my space,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like being able to just kind of reset. Like I remember coming home and just like one thing that I would try and do is make sure that I did like wash my sheets and shit like that before I left.
Mm-hmm.
That way when I came home, they were like ready, right? Yeah. But yeah. Then again, it wasn't always done that way. There were other times where, and you know what, I will say this, in my age and in my years of like growing up and maturing, mm-hmm. I still to this day feel guilty about when I lived in Jake's back house, mm-hmm. because when I left, I didn't really clean up that little back house before we would leave, like for tour or like for Warped Tour. I really didn't clean it up, mm-hmm. and poor Carol Round had to like just look at the shit I left everywhere and like, so she's a real one. I apologize.
You were young.
C-Round. I was young. I was an asshole.
How long did you live there?
Not long. Pretty much it was kind of like, hey, I quit my job at the law office because I was like, I was like, hey, I'm gonna use my vacation to go on tour, and they're like, if you're gonna do that, you lose your job. So I was like, cool, and I just signed my resignation that day, and left. And then right around that time, the house I was living in, which was Bobby D's house, his parents were like, we're gonna, like, John's getting into too much trouble living here, so we're gonna shut this shit down. And yeah, and so that fell through, and it was like, well, you know, Jake's mom had this back house that had like a guest room and like had its own bathroom and all this stuff like that, and she charged me like super cheap rent to live there. And it was like I could live there, and then we could go play shows or go on the road or whatever, and practice was there at the house, so I didn't have to go far. So and I just like looking, like, obviously you look back and I'd do things differently. I'd have treated it with more respect, but I was just like a 22-year-old asshole that just like, yeah, I would like all I wanted to do was like drink Mickey's grenades and make like brass monkeys and like just, you know, so yeah. So, but yeah, like especially, even like just like the last run that we did in October, like I was like coming home to, that one was tough though, because I came home and the house is empty, right? But
Dude, I kind of experienced that too.
yeah, with Bamboo.
Bamboo, dude. Trust me.
Yeah.
Bamboo.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Mike's brother's dog, basically Coda's sibling,
Yeah.
right?
The one that, like, we didn't want to have dogs, especially small ones. We didn't want small ones. But
Yeah.
my sister-in-law had this freaking cute Shih Tzu. Had human eyes, basically.
He had an old man face.
Old man face.
Like grumpy old man face.
Dude. Oh, freaking Bamboo. But yeah, he was the best. And because of him, that's how I got my dog. They wanted him to have like a little playmate, because yeah, but he didn't want to have another puppy around, and plus it was gonna be hard because my niece was just being born, or just been born, and so it's like to have a puppy and, you know,
Yeah.
so I was like, I'll take him.
All right. What was the best food from the NBR tour? This was also Harry. Well, Harry, let me tell you this from my perspective. I got pictures every time they ate somewhere dope or somewhere that they knew I loved. You know, so
Dude, Martin ruined one of those for me. We were like I forgot we were eating. We were having like a great time, and he's like, "Yeah, this is like what Mike and I do when we go to places, and we send it to you." I was like, "Well, yeah, but let's do it to Mike now. Let's do it. Like, I'm here now." It was just, it was like we had like such a nice moment. And he's like, "Yeah, this is like, it's cool that you get to be part of this now." I'm like,
to be fair, we only do it to you when we ask you to hang out and you're like busy.
yeah.
And then we're like, hey, check this out.
Yeah. Oh, where's that? Dude, we had some pretty freaking rad meals on this tour. So I want to shout out Brian, our buddy in like Pittsburgh area. He took such good care of us, and they made freaking barbecue for us, made steaks for us and stuff, or ribs. No, they made ribs for us. So freaking good. And then, dude, shout out to Ethan from Great American Ghost. We stayed with him. He made us these incredible vegetarian, not vegan. I think they're, or I mean, if they're vegan, dude, I think they're just vegetarian tacos. So fucking good.
Yeah.
Like, so they were so good. They were like, they rivaled one of the best meals we had on tour. Like, I was blown away.
Dang.
Blown away. And then we got to stop at Jordan, and we went to Callahan is this tiny little town where Jordan's from, but they have a barbecue spot.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to go, and they like took care of us. They treated us. That was
Fire.
It was, yeah. So I'd say those were like the top 3 meals probably that we had. Yeah. One of the venues had really good burgers, I remember. I can't remember the name of the venue. Yeah, we had decent food on this tour. Like, we did was weird. We did pretty well.
You did pretty well.
I did
yeah.
pretty well. You know, it's one of those things where like I'm like hoping to like come back like thinner. No.
Psych.
Psych, dude.
What did we have on this NPR?
Yeah, you guys going to any memorable spots in this while we were gone?
Jesse and I went to BJ's a lot.
Which I can't wait, dude.
Yeah,
I'm so hungry.
so BJ's has become our like go-to restaurant. I mean, it's Monday night. It's open, but it's just like to the shout out to Genesis because the waitress knows us now. What's up, guys? You know, and then we found out that they have an orange cream soda.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they make their own root beers. They have an orange cream soda.
Wait, they make their own root beers?
Yeah, they make their own root beers.
So good.
They have an orange cream soda. They also have like a another, so is it like a raspberry cream soda or some shit like that, like something else that I was like, oh, I gotta try that one time. But also like we go there enough that now I'm just trying a bunch of different things on the menu. Like I've gone away from the norms. Also, while you were gone, Jesse and I had one night since we started this whole workout thing where Jesse and I went and got Smoke and Fire, and both of us like, dude, like I couldn't even take down half of a brisket burrito, and I was like, I'm full.
I ate half a taco.
Hey, Jesse. No, I'm not proud of you guys at all for that. I'm not proud at all. That just bummed me out.
All right, so Chris, slap with the
Smoking
bass.
Fire, only half the burrito.
He ate half a burrito. I ate half a taco.
Slap with the bass 83. Sent in a few questions. First one, he said, Mike, if you had to pick who was the best special guest host, and Mikey, are you glad to be home? That's hard for me. That's hard for me to answer because I feel like all of them were so dope, like in their own ways.
Dude,
in their own ways.
I was like, dude, I was
Mike was
so
prepared for us to fail.
No, I wasn't prepared to fail, but I was just like, dude, this is gonna be so interesting. Like I was like nervous.
Yeah.
I was like nervous because like I don't know, because I get to watch the show as a fan.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I think that like to be honest, the one show that I was really waiting for was the Dallas episode, which was last week. Mainly because like that as much as we were like dad jokey and like saying, you know, like when me and Dallas get together, it's always just like there's a goal of saying a joke that is so bad that somebody just goes, oh my God. Right? that's the winner chicken dinner type deal for us, right?
Because you're literally like the whole like, oh, you curse like a sailor or you make a sailor plush.
Yeah.
You're literally a sailor.
Yeah.
You literally.
And but also like with that episode, just trying to find that balance where we could still talk about, because like I still remember fully like texting Dallas and like not hearing from him for a few days, and then just be like, what, like how come I'm not hearing from him, and then him telling me like I was in a psych hold, you know, and then just him like I've known about, you know, everything that's gone on, but couldn't really talk about it because it's not my story to tell. So being able to have him here and like talk to him about it, I think was like, you know, not only like really cathartic for him because he finally gets to get all this out, but also it was nice to hear it fully like from his perspective on things. And that was, so I think that was the episode that I'd been waiting for. So it doesn't make it any better than any of the other guests, but it was just that like that's something that I couldn't wait to make happen. And I was so stoked that the timing worked out that it was like, he was going to be out and then he was going to tell his story. And it just happened to be like the end of that run, you know, I guess. So it was cool. But I mean, like, it was cool having Brian fly out. You know, that like, you can't make that shit up. Like, like the Louis Capaldi thing. That's like so ridiculous.
So funny.
You know, and like same thing, like getting Raul back on and being able to talk about, you know, like how things have shifted and how things have changed in the year that he hasn't been here and since he lost his nephew.
Yeah.
you know, and then also like having Ty on and finding out Ty plays drums.
Yeah,
like this
of course he plays drums.
Of course
Ty.
he plays drums. You know, so like just all the, you know, having Andrew on here and talking the getting at the weight loss challenge and things like that. It's just like, you know, everybody had their own thing to bring to the table, which was cool. And even like like everybody would text me before and be like, "What are we going to talk about?" And be like, "Oh, like we'll figure that out." Dude.
But
like,
I feel like all the episodes they went so well.
yeah,
They went so well. Like I was so proud of everybody because I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like nervous.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah,
I knew that you could carry like you're like I can carry conversation with anyone. I was just like nervous that it's different when it's like not coming from two different people.
yeah. Well, like because you can fill in when I don't have
Yeah.
something to say, or like vice versa, and then I was like,
Yeah, but it was nice because then there was like I feel like it was like there was more moments of like you opening up about your
Yeah.
stuff because especially with Angie.
yeah,
Did you? That was yeah. Every episode had like such good, had like good moments. Like I don't know, I was enjoying it from the road.
people still want me to tell the story about me shitting in a wall, and Andrew not giving me toilet paper.
Oh,
So, you know, maybe one day.
I know.
Maybe one day. When we do the 6-month check-in for the weight loss thing, we'll tell that story.
we're doing a lot of shit that day.
We're doing a lot of shit that day. Cool. So, Chris, once again, like a lot of these questions are coming from Chris for a bit, but, you know, he said, have you guys ever been so down and depressed you break down and cry? Yeah.
Yep.
It happens more than most people probably realize. Even though you both have the podcast, do you guys ever feel like you don't have anyone to turn to? I think there are moments when you'll feel that way. Moments when it's like for example, like if you're gone and our normal thing is like a Saturday morning coffee run or something like that, right? And it's like, fuck, like I don't have that opportunity to vent to somebody, right? But I think that finding that like peace of mind that it's like, well, I'm not like, maybe I just don't have somebody to talk to right now, but I still do have somebody.
Yeah.
And I think understanding that, like, you know, things like you know, it sounds like we're pushing a product, but like the Walking Blind group, like I really feel like, you know, that's something that is cool because, and Chris is in it, like being able to just jump in there and say, hey, I'm dealing with this.
Right.
Hey, this is going on. And somebody's gonna.
Someone's gonna jump. That's freaking. I love it. I love it. I love that people, and this is what I want. I feel like it's building community.
Yeah.
I like that there's people making connections now. Like, yeah. Not to plug in our own, but there's a group chat. If you'd like to be part of it, let us know. We'll add you.
Yeah. Let us know. We'll throw you in there.
Yeah, I think for me, I feel like I have a pretty good, and this is like that's something that's taken me a long time to realize I had like support in the way I do. But I've been fortunate enough that I feel like I have my list that I can go through to be like, I don't know, if I'm feeling a certain way or if I don't know. I don't feel like I don't have somewhere to turn because I feel like I have a good support group.
Yeah.
Like you guys, I have obviously my girlfriend, my family, my brother, my parents. And then I have just like my friends that aren't here, but I can reach out to them. So yeah, I feel like I feel good, feel supported.
Chris also said, I'm going to combine two here. Like, how do you stay positive? How to stay positive when all I can do is stress about everything, and then the best advice to work through anxiety. For me, I kind of know what Chris is going through right now, with everything that's been going on in their lives and what's been happening, and right now, like it's just, you know, that like stress is part of that territory.
Yeah.
You know, I think it's just, and I think we talk about this a lot. Is finding the things that are in your control and the things that are not. Yeah. And then just having to, you know, or coming to the realization that these things are completely not in my control, so I can't worry about them because no matter what, there's nothing I can do to change these things. And then just focusing on, what it is that is giving you anxiety, what it is that's triggering your anxiety, and if you can make changes in those to focus on those instead of, like it's basically prioritizing the things that are causing those stresses or causing those anxieties. Like what's in your control. Like if it's, something that you can make a difference in, focus on that rather than the things that like, no matter what you do are not going to change.
Yeah, and I think a big thing that was helpful, I mean, I'm just talking about for myself on tour, is like gratitude is like I think it's a big like weapon in that. I feel like if you get to a place of gratitude, even when you feel like, because I know it's not the feeling where it's like, oh, I don't have anything, but it's like, I think from there you can get into a place you can prioritize, like you said, and if you can just like sit back and be like, oh, I'm healthy, or I have this person in my life, even if this person is struggling, I'm happy that they're in my life and that I can be here with them, struggling with them, or I'm happy that I have this person with me to struggle with me.
Yeah.
Like I feel like there's things that we don't realize, like that we have, and like it's easy to just focus on the negative things or to focus on the thing that seems to the big problem, like you said, like whether it's something you can control or can't control. I don't know. I feel like gratitude is usually a big way to kind of help you kind of get off that line, or if you're facing it and it's in front of you, I feel like you'll find ways to at least it'll give you like, I don't know, like strength. It'll give you like perspective on what it is. Yeah. Gratitude.
Gratitude. And then he did say, which you kind of mentioned a little bit earlier about praying, but he said, I'm not religious at all, but I found praying when times get tough helped me get through the day. Which, hey, if that helps you, it helps you,
Yeah. It's, prayer, not to get into like a whole thing about it, but it's like I would encourage, like, if somebody like, oh, prayer's not my thing, I'm not a religious person. But I think the act of it is like you're taking something that you're clearly not dealing with well, and you're giving it up.
Yeah, just taking it off your chest.
Yeah, I feel like that's huge. And then also being able to speak it out loud does things. There's one thing from like when you have it here and you get it out, you get it in front of you, helpful. But for me, like I don't talk about it a whole lot, but prayer is a very big thing for me, and how I like handle stress, how I handle a lot of the things I do.
Yeah. And then last question from Chris. Why do we shower naked?
Was that his question?
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, I don't, when I shower, dude, when I shower, Jesse, I'm completely naked. Water is hitting my naked body.
Because if you think about it,
Stop.
but like no, really, seriously, like how weird would it be if we showered in clothes?
Well, we got a pool in clothes.
We
got a pool in clothes.
Shorts.
Why? I mean,
Are you a t-shirt guy?
Yeah, because I burn easy.
I burn easy.
I do.
What about an indoor pool?
I've gone shirtless.
Okay.
dude, I went this you probably one of the people who would understand this. Dude, I went shirtless a couple times. Just because it was so fucking hot, dude. It was so hot, like
on stage?
No. Dude, close, dude. Close. This is probably the closest I've ever come to going like shirtless on stage. Like, yeah, it was bad. Like there was I think it was when we were in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And like after the show, I think all of us just walking around with our shirts off just because it was so muggy and gross.
You know who beat you to the shirtless on stage set? Adrian.
I saw that.
yeah.
Dude, I was like, look at this buff guy right here on stage fucking ripping it shirtless.
Dude.
All right, I see you.
That's so funny. He was one of the first people to be like, "Yo, what?" For like the washing video.
Yeah. All right, and then Drea said, "How was tour?"
It was good.
It's good.
No,
It's good.
it was awesome. There's a lot of really really cool things happen. A lot of really like really cool, difficult conversations with people. Blown away by the openness of some people willing to share with me, a total stranger.
Mm-hmm.
But also there's like a lot of really, really nice, beautiful things that were seeing that were happening to people in their life. Like, it was cool to see. Like, it wasn't just sad things, like a lot of victories. Cool to see people 10 years later, see where they're at.
Yeah, for sure. All right, last couple questions. I feel like one's kind of deeper, so I'll save that one. But young Tyler himself, the drummer himself, asks, "Is it toxic to bring cinnamon rolls around someone who's trying to eat better when they just told you that they wanted cinnamon rolls? Asking for a friend."
I mean,
Yes.
I feel like cinnamon rolls are always accepted.
yeah.
Right.
They're like, Ty doesn't cheap out. He wants to set a bond.
If it's Cinnabon, I'm not saying no.
Dude,
If
I
it's
haven't
like the
seen one
Pillsbury,
so long,
like,
Because if Ty's gonna do cinnamon rolls, he goes all out.
yeah, that's, yeah.
I haven't known Ty to bring around cinnamon rolls. Is the thing.
Because usually they get eaten before he gets
It's funny. I remember the most guilt-free. I feel like I was kind of being heroic eating a cinnamon roll. Was when a friend, actually she watches the show, friend Lana.
Mm-hmm.
I remember she made a comment about how like they don't have cinnamon bun out in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember thinking, like, you know what? I'm gonna eat one for you. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna have cinnamon bun for you. For those who can't, I will.
For those who can't. How am I supposed to eat, Jesse?
How you gonna eat it like this? Did you just grab it?
Jesse,
Hold on.
Do you just hold
For anyone who didn't
Cinnabon?
see, Jesse apparently takes a Cinnabon and holds it.
Do you
and
pick
he
up a
eats
whole?
it.
No.
Do you pick up a whole Cinnabon and eat it like this, or do you get a fork?
I get we both knew. I was like, hold on.
I've seen some savage things, but picking up a whole Cinnabon like this and eating it would be a wild move.
Take a banana and just bite it in the middle.
No, I rip it in half.
That's how I actually do.
Let's not talk about this. It's gonna upset me.
Dude, I'm so hungry.
It's okay. We're almost done. We're almost done. Rinaldi, shout out to Daniel. Why haven't we gotten back into talk yet?
Dude, haven't had him back. Dude,
Back here. We'll make it happen.
we'll get him back, man. I owe Dan a freaking MBR hoodie, dude. He bought one like a while ago.
And you didn't fucking.
I haven't sent it. Well, why don't I have them?
You better send him too.
I know. Well, I was hoping he was gonna come out to one of the shows, and I was
Oh.
like, "Hey, here,
Oh.
take it."
Well, your fault, homie.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the last one. We'll end with this one because I am hungry as well. Martin Miramontes asked, "What are your whys in life?" This was yeah.
This whys are what got me through a lot of my schooling. I remember them explaining that to us, and I was just like,
So how did they define that for you?
because they basically just said like straight up social work. It's not like the core, like our program, La Sierra University, not an easy program, one of the harder ones. So, and it's gonna require a lot of time. It's gonna require a lot of sacrifice on our end to do it.
All to be in a thankless
job. Like, straight up, they told us, like, yes, there are ways where you can get to places where you can get paid well, but as a social worker, pay isn't always great for the work you're doing. It's a very thankless job. Uh, there's also areas like that are still very new to it. So it's like um like we get told like there's a lot of time with social workers like in the hospital setting where it's like straight up doctors people be like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Like you don't like they don't understand the value of like what a social worker brings.
Right.
And like wanting to like yeah. So so they made us establish like why do you want to do this?
Mm-hmm.
What about social work is it? And then once you establish that, then like they have us like really like repeat it and like truly believe it. Because if you lose your why, then it's like then do something else.
Mm-hmm.
Drop out of the program.
Yeah.
Do something else because it's like it's not something like you can't. It's like one of those things you don't want to just you can't just do it just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know. So anyway, so yeah, the whys. What are my whys? Um, from a very surface level, goes a lot deeper. I want to help people. I do a lot of what I do in my life. I want to. I want. I want to. I want someone to not feel alone if they feel alone. I want someone to feel like they can, whether they have someone to turn to. I want them to at least understand that they have resources available to them. Like, I want to with any platform I have, I want someone to like always feel like they can. Like I want to help because I want them to know that they have resources. I want them to know that they feel important, that they're valuable enough to like fight for. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like that's like one of my big whys. Like why I help, why I do the podcast, why I do music. And then a new why for me, like not to get into it more, but like I have things that personally I want to do for my future, for people in my life that I want to do things for in the future. Like those are like what keep me from like phoning in life, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty much in the same boat as you. I think the only thing I would say differently, and not even differently, just to add to it, is I don't ever want people to feel how I felt in the moments when I was at my lowest. I want, like, there were a lot of times when it almost felt like helpless, or it almost felt like getting to that level where you just think, what's the point, right? And being able to like having people around me and finding people that would support me or like help me out was one of the biggest reasons why, essentially, like in the scheme of things, why I'm still here, right? So and even early on, like when I was younger, like just like there was this like inclination to just kind of try my best to help people with whatever it was that they were going through, and in a sense, like just I think I understood the mentality of like, we're constantly on the move, constantly having to meet new people, having to reestablish relationships, having to, like even just as a kid, like forge new friendships, which in some ways is very easy as a kid. And then in others, like when you don't have a long term, like I would be in a place for a year and then we'd be gone. Mm-hmm. So there was no developing like long term like bonds or relationships. So coming from that place and then like having an understanding of like, hey, I might just be here for a moment, but I want to make like the best of that moment that I can. So it was just always kind of coming from a place when like, hey, I might not be here long, but I want to make sure that like, I'm doing something positive with what I'm doing here. And that's still been a whole learning curve for me too. 'Cause it's like, you have to figure out like, are you doing this just to like be able to say that you're helpful, or is this coming from a genuine place? And then almost like imposter syndrome of like, you know, like I think when we started this podcast, we talked a lot about like, you were the professional. I'm just here just to say whatever random shit. Right?
I'm also not actually a professional. we say that in the disclaimer.
In the disclaimer, but you know, like from the mentality of like, you know, you did study a lot of this. You went to school for this, for social work, things like that, and I'm just a dude that like kind of stumbled into this and was like, I'm become pretty decent at listening, you know. So you know, on certain things. Other things, you know, but yeah.
Michael's an excellent listener.
I was about to say that. No, you're really good at listening.
Why does that sound sarcastic, Jesse?
Well, because sometimes you're so good you fall asleep. You know?
Don't judge me. You know, no, but yeah, I think another, and this is a more recent thing, like within the past year, is I want to be able to set a good example, like for example for Elliot or for Emily, right? Even though I'm not like their father, it's the idea of like, but I still want to show you what I believe is like, you know, the way I see it, like what I would have want to see growing up. And my dad was, you know, awesome, not taking anything away from him, but just trying to be the best example of a person that I can be, so that when they grow up and they get older, they see that. Which, now that I say that, I'm reminded, Elliot came home today with a note from the school because he got in trouble, because the note said Elliot punched his friend and his friend punched him. And I said, Karima was like, look what Elliot got. It's cool. She didn't seem mad. And then I was like, hey, so what happened, bud? You know? And I was like, did you hit your friend? He's like, yeah. I was like, did he hit you first? And he was like, yeah. And I go, what's that? And Karima turned around. I was like, good job. High five. And she's like, and I was like, oh, I'm just saying, if it's self-defense, it's fine, you know. But so.
Did you fuck him up? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, it was kind of funny. I don't know what actually happened, but you know, I was like, hey, don't, buddy, don't hit people.
Yeah, don't hit people.
You know, if you're defending yourself, it's fine. But he's 4. He doesn't grasp that yet. But yeah, I think that's one of the most recent things is I kind of want to just, you know, set an example of at least just being like a decent human, more than anything else. So that being said, what's your song for the week?
Ooh,
You forgot about these, huh?
I did. Shoot. You know what? I'm gonna throw just because we were here the other night. Scott Sellers song. I have to look it up. Sorry, it's the first. It's the first track off of one of his EPs.
Off The View from the Moon?
Yes.
Do It Right?
Yes. For anyone, you know, if anyone who was a Rufio fan back in the day, look up Scott Sellers, the singer from Rufio. He's put out a ton of music, and it like some of it I feel like is even better than Rufio.
I would agree.
I think some of it's better than Rufio, and I used to like not be the biggest fan of his voice, but like I don't know what it is. I feel like it's like obviously he's writing these songs. I know he wrote Rufio's song, but this stuff it's so good, and it makes me go back and like appreciate Rufio even more. Yeah, I dig it.
For me, I'm gonna add. This is straight up TikTok brought me to this song, but it's not one of the TikTok songs like you're thinking. There's a band called Fluorescence, And they have this song called "Roll the Dice." And basically, the way they did it on TikTok was like, oh, when an R&B singer sings for a pop punk band, right? And the song rips. Like their music is really good. The dude's got a really good voice. So that's what I'm gonna add on to the playlist. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid.
I used a TikTok song, not realizing it was a TikTok song. Thought I was making a really cute video for Coda.
Your post fucking blew up, didn't it?
I don't think it blew up. I put it on. It was on Instagram. I don't think I put it on TikTok. But someone was like, "Cool TikTok song." I was like, "What? What's?"
Also, sidebar. Do you remember that band It Dies Today?
Mm-hmm.
They put out a new single, and it rips.
Dude.
Rips. So I may add 2 songs to the playlist because bands are coming back right now.
They're coming back, man. Freaking Furnace Fest. I've
You
been
see,
watching
next
those
year's
videos.
gonna be the last year of Furnace Fest.
I did not know that.
Yeah. So they put up pre-sale and they're going like quick. I didn't look into it as far as like if it was like where they do the shows that was kind of shutting it down or what the deal was or if it was becoming too much to manage. I just saw that 2024 was going to be the last year of Furnace Fest.
Damn.
And the lineup this year was fucking batshit.
Dude, it was so good. Every night was so freaking good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't realize what Furnace Fest was as far as like how many bands play. Like I've always been like, oh, that's cool that so and so is coming back and whatever. I didn't realize like freaking dude, like Throwdown set looked crazy. Zayo, I knew Zayo was coming back because Your Spirit Dies.
Haste the Day came back for this, I think.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Freaking 90 Pound Wuss. I don't know if anyone like they were like a band that MXPX used to always talk about, and I remember being back into them back in the day. They came back for this.
Mm-hmm.
Plea for Purging came back for this.
Yeah. A Plea for Purging had the best merch ever with the fucking the Jordan logo.
Dude, that band is so rad. I can't. NBR got to tour with them back in the day. They were so rad. That was such a fun tour. Furnace Fest, please bring no bragging rights.
2024.
2024.
Yeah. All right. Let's get some food. Let's get out of here. Make sure you guys do the whole like, comment, subscribe thing. Follow us at Walking Blind Pod everywhere.
Dude, if you hopefully you made it this far. If you are like if you're on, I think you can do it on other apps, but YouTube, if you could put a like on this video, if you watch it, like put a like on it. Maybe go back, put likes on the other videos. Yeah, it would help us a lot.
There's only like 93 other videos that we need you to like.
If you can go back and like those other ones, that would be
sick.
Awesome.
We should do this at the front of the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
We should.
We should plug all these at the front of the show. We're gonna switch that up for 94. Can we call that episode 94 hours? Sorry, side note. Anyways. So at Walking Blind Pod everywhere, those resources that we listed for the East Coast run and the Born Dead tour that No Bragging Rights just did, those resources stay up. Yep. So even the shows that we had like way back when, those resources are still up. If you check the website, they are going to be listed under our resources tab, and they're not going away. So at any point in time, if you guys need to check those out, we do have them listed. And I know we still plan to bring more to the table for that. So yeah, check it out. Holidays are coming up, so we're probably gonna do another merch drop. I've been kind of working on some ideas. We're not gonna do cups again. Learned our lesson with that one.
Which is so ridiculous. They're such good freaking cups, dude. They like for reals. They're good.
They really are.
They're like they keep your drink cold, or if you want it hot, they keep it hot.
Yeah.
You guys are dummies, dude. Straight up, dude. You guys are dummies, dude.
Let's still go back and like all the videos.
Yeah, still go back and like all the videos, dummies.
Big dummies, dude. They're so good. The cups are so good.
Oh man, welcome back, Mike.
I know.
We worked so hard to get those cups too. We had to go through like 2 batches because the first batch was all
right,
messed up,
dude.
and that's why we missed the Christmas drop for that. Yeah. Although I am thinking with the Walking Blind group chat, I think we should throw a pre-order in there for merch. That way they get first dibs at merch.
Michael.
16 people.
Hey man,
Is that how many there are there?
I don't know.
Dude,
Hey, man.
it's a good group, dude. We have everything from us to freaking to Lana Del Rey's sound guy.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know.
That's all we.
I know. I'm trying to think of what else other people do.
Us.
Jules is in there.
Jules is in there. IE Hardcore. We got my buddy Kyle. I don't know what Kyle does. He does photography, but I don't know what else he does. Yeah, my buddy Kyle. No, I know photography, but I don't know if that's his sole.
He manages a bar too, right?
Is that what he does?
I think so.
Fuck. Well,
Yeah.
But anyway, it's a cool group chat.
Yeah. Let's get people involved. Yeah.
I like that.
Big numbers.
You see, Jesse, you being a hater over there. All right.
All right, let's go eat, guys.
All right. We love you guys. See you guys soon.
Peace.
Peace.
No way to handle my aggression.